welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about the challenges I've taken on in the past and what I had planned for this year and what I'm going to do instead. I've never really been a competitive person at all. Like in school, I just would never win any races. I wouldn't enter any sports, I wouldn't do anything. And then I found cycling and I just don't know why, but I fell in love and wanted to do more. So I started cycling and I thought I'd enter my first sportive, and before that I did an All Blacks, which was my first ever event, and it was called the Bunny Hop in Falmouth, and it was 30 miles and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. This was like 2, maybe 3 years ago, I don't quite remember. So I did that, and then I did the Eden Classic in May, whatever year that was, 2018, there you go. So 2 years ago, I did the Eden Classic, 35 miles, because there was no way I was ever going to do any more than that year. And that was a huge struggle for me. I walked up pretty much all the hills, I struggled. I felt like I'd done 100 miles. I saw all the coasters in a big group cycle past me on the last few hills. And I was thinking, I remember, but I'm too scared to talk to any of you. So that was my first proper thing that was like something I got a medal for, because I'd never wanted to enter anything like that, like to get a medal, you know, just it's not really my sort of thing. But I decided after that I wanted to do it again. So I did it again last year, which is and I've done like various All Blacks during this time, because I kind of prefer an All Blacks because you get to an adventure, you got to find things on the way, you get stamps, you get cake, like what more could you want? Oh, and I've done some time trials too, and I really enjoy time trial because you're just racing against yourself and then that's it. I've always been the slowest, but I'll do that in another story because I'd like to do more of that. But anyway, so we're talking about like my things that I've done. So I did the Eden Classic again, but only 35 miles again. This was last year. I like this medal better because if you look, like, there's a wooden one and a metal one. So both 35 miles, but this time I did it with my dad and Lee, and I didn't struggle as much. I was able to get more of the hills, and at the end of the day, I felt less like I wanted to die. So I had obviously improved over the first year, because the first year I just wanted to die from as soon as I got my bike. And it was really nice cycling past the biomes. I really liked that bit for some reason, don't know. And then I had also signed up to do the Hilly 100 that year, which is 100 miles from the Eden Project of the hilliest hills in Cornwall. And it was tough. So the first day we wore these t-shirts. Let's see, Hilly 100, Grab Life by the Boobies. And this is in aid of Copperfield. And day one was 60-ish miles, which was like my second longest ride ever. And it was a killer. I was riding with Vicky Patterson, who is like a sort of celebrity, but I didn't actually know who she was when I first met her. I had to like Google her afterwards. and some other people, and they were all really friendly and lovely, and we all helped each other through it, because I joined up not knowing anyone, and then I found a lovely lady called Jules on Instagram and we became friends, and she came on to Breeze Rides before the actual event, and it was just nice to actually know someone before I did it. So we went out and did that, and that was horrible the first day. When I thought that 35-mile Eden Classic ride was horrible, this was like a whole new level of horrible, and it was 60 miles up the hilliest hills in Cornwall. I was ready to give up by like, we went out to St Austell and then came back in. Where was it I really wanted to get? When we got to Tregony. Tregony was the bit that I was like ready to give up. I had to go in a shop and I said, "You got a toilet?" And then they took me to this little horrible toilet in the back room. I was so happy to see a toilet, I didn't care what it looked like. I bought a load of chocolate and just continued on. And they both bought alcohol, and then they had some alcohol at the bottom of the last hill. They had shots of tequila and something else. I just had some water because I'm teetotal. I know I sound boring, but I don't care. So day 2, I got to dress up. Everyone had to be fancy dress. Well, they didn't have to be, but it was like, you know, that was the idea of fancy dress. So I dressed up as Jessie from Toy Story. It was so fun. And I had Woody attached on my handlebars. So he sat on the front of my handlebars, and I had my little duck. And my mum had made me one of the aliens out of felt. Oh my god, it's so cute. I'll go get it. So I rode around with this hat on my helmet, And this shirt that I had made, look, I sewed these ruffles on. In the end, I just gave up, started gluing them. And my little sheriff's badge. I just had this tied up around my waist, so I just had this shirt on and this hat, and I had my Woody strapped on the front. This Woody has been 40 miles on my bicycle. I love Woody. I really love Toy Story. Can you tell it's my favourite film? I did have to stick his hat on with tape because it kept falling off. And then I had these two boobs attached to my bicycle on my back saddle. And then here is my alien. Look, isn't he so cute? I have to keep it, I didn't want to leave him out the side because I just didn't want him to get ruined. Because like my mum has spent ages making for me and he's just so cute. I just could not like risk him getting damaged or anything. So I just carried him in my saddlebag and I got him out and showed him to people, had photos with him and stuff, but I loved him. I painted my legs in kelp and it was just such a fun day. But the ride was hideous. Like absolutely hideous. I struggled to get any of the hills. I walked up so many of them, my bum was so chafed, and I had started a really bad saddle sore, which I still have now, but it's a lot better now. I've sort of fixed it, but that was like the start of my really bad saddle sore pains, and it was just awful. But I made it, and I did 100 miles over 2 days, and I was so proud. I had done 100 miles over 2 days before that, because I had sort of practiced, you know, doing as much miles as I could over weekends and stuff. So I had practiced, but like it wasn't as hideous as that, and oh my god, it killed me. But I achieved it and succeeded, and then a few days later I did a really big, like a sort of like fast ride with some of my friends, and it probably wasn't the best idea. And then the last ride I did was a Santa ride, and I got to dress up as Santa, and I had red rosy cheeks, and my little Santa suit on, and that was like the last ride I did, like where I actually got a medal. So this year I was planning to do Ride London and the Children's Hospice Ride for Precious Lives, which Ride London is the 100 miles around London obviously, and that one's unfortunately been cancelled for this year, and they don't know if next year's going to go ahead, so they've refunded everyone. So we've not been able to defer our places to do it another time, which is quite sad, because you know, now if we ever want to try and do it again, we're going to have to go in the ballot again and hope we get in, which it's like, you know, we've just got it in the ballot and then we're not going to be able to get a chance to get back in really. I can't see that I'd get in again. So I probably won't apply for it again, which is sad, but it's kind of put me off. But the other one is Ride for Precious Lives, which we're now doing next May. And that was to be riding from St Austell to their 2 other hospices, and one, I think it's Barnstable and then Bristol. I probably got that completely wrong, but it was 205 miles over 3 days, and it's all for Children's Hospice. And we've been raising loads of money for them. It just gives us more time to raise money and everything. So we've got till May now as well for training, which kind of ideal because I don't feel like I'm ready. So this year, as I can't do any of that stuff, and I can't do any of the things I've done previously because of Eden Classic's been cancelled, it was last weekend. Like everything's been cancelled. So what better to do than to have our own little ride? Me and my friends, we're going to do, this is my partner's idea, so it's a bit of a weird, crazy idea because I can't see it's going to be fun. We're going to do a Cornwall 100, and we're going to ride 100 miles around Cornwall. Which, after the hilly 100, I'm not sure I like the sound of. I'm going to try and find the flattest route possible, and even if I have to cycle from one place to another place, like, you know, not come back home, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do it like the flattest, easiest route possible to get my 100 miles in. And I'm going to make some little trophies, so my friends can all get a trophy that do it with me. Obviously, we'll only be doing it together if we're allowed to due to social distancing and all that stuff. Like, we won't be doing this if we can, and it'll be in August. So we've got a few months in the hope that things like get a bit better, so we can actually go out in groups of like 5 or something. And obviously it will be a distance from each other. It wouldn't be like, you know, all close up chatting. It'd be like a distance. But it will be nice just to have like something to aim for and achieve, if you know what I mean. So that's why we're going to do this 100 miles. I'm going to make some little trophies for my friends. Like, not trophies, like medals like this. So my plan is I'm going to get some wooden round bits like this, like my 100 medal. And then I'm going to write Cornish 100 on it. And then I'll put something in the middle. I don't know what. And I'll paint it with glitter, because, like, you know, medals are supposed to be metal and shiny. Like this one's all glittery, this Santa one. I don't know if you can see it. So I'll paint it in glitter and I'll get some ribbon, and then we can each have a medal at the end of it to say we've done it. So then it'll feel more like an event rather than just something that Lee's made up. So that is my plan for this year, is to do the Cornwall 100. It's not an official event and it probably never will be. It's just going to be me and my friends trying to do something we've never done before in a long distance. So yeah, so that's my plan. Because of my big aim is to be able to do a 200k Audax one day, maybe a flat one. I would love to be able to do that, but I'm not sure I'm ready to do that sort of distance anywhere near. Like when I did 50 miles in March training for Ride London, it killed me. Like I know why it killed me, because I didn't eat enough, and I sort of like was like, you know, I think on the verge of like bonking and not bonking. So eat more is the key thing that I've learned from my cycling, is I need to eat more. I will try and do like a video on my, like not necessarily nutrition, but like the sort of things I eat on a ride and my favourite things to eat on a ride and what helps me get through rides. So if you have any requests or liked anything you saw in this video, or have got anything that you're still looking forward to this year that you're going to do riding wise, just post in the comments below. And otherwise, subscribe, like and share. So thank you for watching.